All right, guys, so this is me from the future after filming the video that you're just about to watch, but I just want to let you guys know I am absolutely blown away by this thing. Probably the best handheld blower I've ever used, pretty much in every aspect. Super surprised, wasn't expecting a ton. Check out the video though, this thing's amazing. In today's video, we're gonna be comparing the Ryobi handheld blower, this little guy here, which is fantastic, to the similar unit from the Kobalt brand. So this is kind of Lowe's answer to that one available at Home Depot. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing, check it out. We're gonna go over pricing, statistics, all that kind of stuff, and then test it side by side with what results I've gotten with the Ryobi in the past to see if this thing stacks up, if it's better, worse. Let's do it. All right, guys, so as I'm opening this thing up, I just want to bring a couple things to your attention really quickly right off the bat. It states on the box, 270 CFM, which is basically air volume coming out of it, and 130 miles per hour. Now the Ryobi, on the other hand, I have it written down right here, actually advertises 220 CFM, but 140 miles per hour. So I think the difference is going to be the actual opening of the nozzle, but it sounds like their power output's probably gonna be pretty similar. So just dependent on what you're looking for. All right, so as we open this up, you will see this comes tool only. This thing came in at a price of $89 at current time of filming this. $89, and they no longer, at least from what I saw, no longer offer a battery and a full kit, including the unit itself, the battery, and the charger. So it looks like you can only go unit only. So that'll be a big deciding factor for you. If you don't have any Kobalt batteries and you have Ryobi batteries, then obviously the Ryobi is a better fit, or vice versa, just depending on how it is. So $89 for the Kobalt unit. The Ryobi, on the other hand, current price of this thing comes in at $109 for unit only. So $20 more. But you can get a kit with a battery and charger for $149, so value does get better there. All right, let's go ahead and unbox this thing and check it out, because there are some cool little features to it, different attachment points and things like that, that we wanna check out as we do this. And then, like I said, we'll get into the testing, checking the runtime, noise level, and then the performance by blowing it into a bucket to see how much force we're getting out of that. So right off the bat, this is going to be the nozzle piece. And this is what I was talking about, guys. The opening on this one, on the Kobalt, is bigger than the one on the Ryobi. You can see it actually inserts in. So that's probably where we're gonna get more CFM or volume of air coming out, but we're gonna lose some PSI, or sorry, lose some miles per hour. And I say PSI because it's similar to a pressure washer. When you increase the PSI, you typically reduce your GPM, or gallons per minute, coming through. Same thing here with blowers, CFM and miles per hour. Fluctuate that way as well. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the batteries real quick, because like I said, this comes unit only, and I didn't have any Kobalt batteries, so I did buy a kit. The kit was actually a really good price. It was the charger and two 4 amp hour batteries for 99 bucks. So that's a good deal. So that is what we're gonna be running, and that's where we bring into one of the biggest differences between the Ryobi and this Kobalt. The Ryobi utilizes an 18 volt battery. The Kobalt is a 24 volt battery system. Now, what does that really mean? I don't know 100%, to be perfectly honest. From everything I understand, 18 volt and 20 volt batteries are basically the same thing. You don't get into any real differences until you get to the 24 volt, and that's what this is. So are we gonna get more power out of it, more juice, more runtime? That's what we wanna find out. Now, one thing to note though is, just like the Ryobi, how the Ryobi is a nice rubberized tip, like really, really nice. The Kobalt is also rubberized, and not as much, I will say. You can see it doesn't like completely fold in, but the ends of it are nice and soft. So if you did get up a little close to the paint and it hit, it's not gonna be the end of the world, because it is protected by that rubberized coating. All right, moving along. I mean, I gotta say the colors, ooh, it's very, very comfortable in the hand. Is that equally comfortable? I'm gonna say the the Kobalt might be slightly more comfortable in the hand, just a little more ergonomic. Just feels a little tighter to me. The Ryobi though, I've never had an issue. It is comfortable as well, so just something to note right off the bat, it does feel very comfortable. A couple more extensions, whoops, and then your instruction manual and another nozzle. All right, guys, so here is everything that you get. Like I said, you get the unit itself, 2 extensions, a sort of fanned out nozzle, which also is rubberized on the tip, so that's very, very nice. And then you get the stubby. So you can apply these, you can put the extensions on and then apply those to the end of it, or you can put these just on the end and keep it nice and short. Now for me as a detailer, I'm using these more for a little bit more precision on drying vehicles and things like that. So I just go with a rubberized nozzle. So a couple things I want to just hint on, or not even hint on, but talk about specifically between these two units. When we do go just nozzle only, right? The tube that's built onto the frame of the Ryobi is longer. So when you compare them side by side, look how much shorter and more compact the Kobalt is. One other thing to note is if you look into, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to tell, but the fan itself on the Kobalt is larger in diameter. One downside that, not a downside, but something that I really liked about the Ryobi is that if you can look in, the fan is actually like all the way up here. So I think that's really, really nice for like safety if, you know, long hair or whatever else could get linked into there. But since the fan's all the way up here, it's pretty safe. This one sits a bit further back. It's not right at the end, but it's right about here. So a bit closer in, but the screen or filter on the back is pretty nice. So no harm, no foul there. A couple more things to note on the Kobalt. And this is the same on the Ryobi as well, but you do have a trigger lock and you can lock it from one side or the other side. Oh, wait. Yeah, you can lock it from both sides. But again, if you are wanting to use this thing around the house to blow out leaves or blow off you know, your patio, decking, things like that, it is nice that you do get these extensions because that is a nice long nozzle now. That's like equivalent to your standard handheld, like, you know, standard type of leaf blower. So you're gonna have all that distance. I'm 6'2", just drop my arm and it's basically touching the ground. So very, very comfortable in that sense for being able to use it for, you know, blowing stuff around. Now, like I said, for me as a professional car detailer, this is really what I care about the most, the smaller compact size of it. So we're gonna be testing it this way. So let's go ahead, we already talked about price. Let's go ahead and talk about the decibel level first things first, because that'll be easy for me to test side by side. So let me go ahead and look up what the Ryobi was, and then we'll do the same test with the Kobalt. So let's go ahead and do the decibel level test. Okay, so we got this thing in. Let me go ahead and get my decibel meter out on my phone real quick. All right, here it is, guys. So ambient noise, 50. Okay, so same test, how I always do this. I'm just gonna stick it out as far as I can. We're gonna pull the trigger and test the noise level. Here we go. It's really sitting at 89 decibels. Now, I gotta say, it's a good noise to it though. But really, you're getting a lot of noise out of the back end of this thing. And again, because it's a smaller fan and deeper in, that's probably why the Ryobi seems quieter. And again, 89 decibels versus the Ryobi was 87 decibels. So definitely quieter on the Ryobi side, but this isn't bad, especially for a blower that's not bad at all. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about the performance, right? I haven't even used this thing on my car yet. I will be doing that, and I'll give you some sort of anecdotal recommendation on what I think the performance is like and which one feels better. But with the only measurable way I have of doing it is the bucket test and blowing it into a bucket. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, guys, so here we are at my weigh station, and we've got the scale, the bucket on it. I already tared it out so that the bucket weight is not even factored in. As you see, we've taken off, it goes negative 12.1. Put it back on, and we're back to 0. We are in purely in ounces, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the blower, I'm going to level out the nozzle right at the top of the bucket and blow in there and see what kind of rating we get. So here we go. Kind of bouncing around a lot. It seems like a lot of turbulence, but it was sitting, what was it, 30 grams? 30 ounces, which is very, very good. Like, let me look at that again. That's insane, actually. We're gonna call it 30.3 ounces. That's phenomenal. All right, guys, so I gotta say that is extremely, extremely impressive. I'm actually blown away. So I have the note here, the Ryobi, when I did the test, same exact thing, nozzle at the top of the bucket. It got 21 to 23 ounces of force on the scale. This thing's getting 30 ounces. That is a significant increase. It's actually, I've tested a bunch of little handheld blowers, from Adams to MaxShine to the Milwaukee to Vortex House. 30 is the highest I've ever gotten. And this is like second quietest also. So I'm really, really impressed. Let's go ahead and check runtime. I have another battery. Again, I ordered that 2-pack. It's fully charged. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this thing into position and let it run, and I'll tell you guys how long it ran for. All right, guys, so here is that other battery. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you. We're at full charge. Now, this is a brand new battery. I've never used it before. I just got it out of the package, put it on the charger, and there you go. It's fully charged. Gonna go ahead and plop that in. Okay, and here we go. It's gonna blow back a bit, so I do have to kind of anchor this up against something, but not enough that it's gonna restrict the flow. So here we go. Yeah, there's a lot of pushback on this thing. Look at that. Wow. All right, guys, I just let this thing run. You saw me start it. It ran. This thing's continually blowing me away. 15 minutes and 40 seconds. I believe that's the highest runtime out of all the ones I've tested. Most performance and longest runtime. Incredible. One thing to note is there was a power curve, right? At the 15-minute mark, it started to gradually go down. I could hear it, right? You could just hear the performance, and it was a gradual drop off until it completely died. 40 seconds of downgrade, right? So, but it pretty much ran at full power for 15 minutes. Absolutely, absolutely incredible. I'm gonna go ahead and put the chart that I've made with all the other ones, comparing all the specs, right up here for you guys so you can check that out. While you look at that though, let's go ahead and head outside now and dry off a panel to see how much, again, the numbers are great, but does it dry a panel off faster than the Ryobi does? Let's go ahead and do that. Again, I've got my other battery. We'll go ahead and plug this thing in. I'll grab my Ryobi battery and we'll test that. All right, guys, so here is the panel. I'm doing it on this because otherwise my car's over there. I just got an order, a shipment of boxes and bar jack polishers, so I can't get my car out right now. Everything else is white. It's not gonna show super well, so I'm gonna apply it to this door panel. Now, if you remember well, part of it has been sanded, part of it has not, part of it has the little door cup there has some PPF on it. This section here has Quiver Seal, and then this side has Whitewater, my foam on rinse off sealant. So that's all that's on here. We're gonna go ahead and you can see the difference. So that sheets off insanely well. Seal is just beating like crazy, but look how fast Whitewater flashes off the panel. It all just comes off. Okay, so it makes it much easier for drying. There's not a lot on there for us to dry, but we're gonna go ahead and check this out and see how long it takes to dry this down. All right, guys, so first up is the Ryobi. I'm gonna wait till this hits, my video recording hits 10 seconds, then I'll start so I can time it that way. 8, 9, and here we go. All right, 20 seconds. That's 20 seconds, guys. Let me go ahead and switch over to the Kobalt now. We'll re-wet this down again and do the same exact test. So here we go, actually. Okay, same deal. Now we've got the Kobalt ready. I'm gonna wait till 5 seconds and I'll start. Here we go. And that's 20 seconds. So that was about 17 seconds, 18 seconds with this guy. So it is faster. And again, you can feel a lot more power with this thing. All right, guys, so there you go. You've seen all the tests. I'm gonna give you my personal opinion on this. Between this and the Ryobi, the only reason I would go with the Ryobi now is because I have those batteries already. I gotta tell you, I love the Ryobi. I've had it forever. It's worked for me for a very long time now. I'm very happy with it. This, I don't know yet, right? This is my first time ever using it. Longevity, I don't know. But if we're just talking purely about performance, this thing knocks it out of the park against every other handheld blower that I've ever used in every way, right? Great price, amazing performance, amazing runtime. It's really, really, really great. So my recommendation would be if you're looking to go into and get one of these blowers and you don't have a battery system that you use, this is it 100% of the time. Amazing performance, guys. Like really, really shocked by it. I was expecting on par performance and instead it exceeded it in every way. If you already have a bunch of Ryobi batteries, yeah, the Ryobi is a great way to go. If you're looking at pricing, again, this one's coming in currently $89 for unit only. Versus the Ryobi's 109 unit only, but you can get the kit. And I believe the kit, if I remember well, is a 4 amp hour battery and a charger and the unit for $149. But when you compare that to this, I paid $89 for the unit and then $100 for a charger and 2 4 amp hour batteries. So that puts me to $190, but I'm getting a whole nother battery as well. So I don't know, even if it was significantly more expensive, the performance here is out of this world. I'm really, really impressed. So once again, hopefully I have the chart up here for you guys comparing all of them side by side. This guy is the winner across the board of all those ones in my personal opinion. Really, really fantastic. I'll link this down in the description for you guys below. My local store did not have it. I did have to order it along with that battery kit. So just keep that in mind. Not as readily available as the Ryobi is, but hopefully this will be more readily available because it's awesome. Both units were tested with a 4 amp hour battery, okay, across the board. So apples to apples there. The big difference though is 18 volt versus the 24 volt. I think we're just getting so much more performance out of it with that. That's it for today's video though, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.